Welcome to Chasing Winners. Peter O'Neill, David Shortte and Jesse Erenshaw are about to join you to preview the meeting from Mandurah in the Peel tonight. They will also look in depth at the meeting from Cannington tomorrow night. The boys will also be joined by Ryan Levitsky, who will provide his best over the 2 nights of chasing. Let the chase begin.
And a very good morning, everyone, and welcome along to Chasing Winners. Excited to get into this Friday and Saturday night program at Mandurah and also Cannington. As we say, very good morning to David Shortte and Jesse Erenshaw. First of all, to you, Shorty. Missing a little bit of racing in recent weeks, and while it's been very, very hot, I certainly have missed it.
I'm with you. It's last night seems crazy when all the East Coast stuff's finished and 8 o'clock and it's time to go to bed almost, Pete. It's crazy, but it shows you how much we miss it when it's not there. And look, I understand this time of year. It was a particularly warm day there yesterday. So the dogs come number one, and it was frustrating as it is doing a whole lot of form for a meeting and then having it called off. At the end of the day, it's all about the dogs being safe and sound, and there'll be opportunities both tonight as well as tomorrow night, Sunday and Monday, some really hot stuff again. So I'm sure we're just going to have to be a little bit nimble through that patch while the hot stuff's still around, but looking forward to these next 2 programs that will break down over the next hour.
And Jesse, good morning to you. Have you ever seen a final of a feature race here in Western Australia where one trainer has all 8 runners? There's a chance for that to happen in the Puppy Classic.
Not in my lifetime. I know it's happened in the past, and he's got a great chance of winning it, Dave, doesn't he? He's pretty much got a mortgage on the race.
Has it happened, Shorty?
I think there's a part of me that remembers when 7. Keith Harding was
he had 7.
Airborne. Was there ever a race where he had 8 or was just 7 of the 8? That's about the only time I can remember.
Only had 7.
Yeah, I'd have to check the history books. I know they were very close at one point because they had all of those lighter fire greyhounds that were coming through at the same time and dominating WA sprint racing. But outside of that, Pete, there's not a period in my memory where anybody's gone even close to it, to be fair.
Good news during the week, this Sandgroper is going to be an absolute ripper, isn't it, as it starts to build. Morton was added earlier on the week. We also heard Explicit, who's the favourite for the Australian Cup Series. And then we heard on your podcast on Wednesday, I think it was.
It was?
Yeah, that Big Energy. The WA Bred Chase is going to add to it. It's building, and this could be the biggest race ever in WA. No,
it's shaping up as being one of the hottest races in the history of Australian greyhound racing. You benchmark at the first 3. The greyhound that won the Group 1 last week there, Explicit. Morton, who, of course, won the Group 1 Gold Bullion up in Brisbane only a month ago. Big Energy, who's run some of the fastest times in Australia. We've still got 5 slots to fill. It's so exciting. And big thanks to Casey McCutcheon as well from Mintbet, who joined us. It's a big deal for them to be a part of this. Pete, they've put their money up where their mouth is, and they'll be coming across for the big event, and we'll be continuing to catch up with the different slot holders. I think we've got Kirsty Moore and Kel Greeno joining us next week to talk about how excited they are to have Big Energy back home here in WA, and it's a completely different animal now to what it was when it left WA, Pete. But in the meantime, has it run some slick times over there in Melbourne? So a wonderful addition to this year's Sandgroper.
And do you know the other good news, just when we have to get into this preview, the other good news is these greyhounds are going to come across likely for the Perth Cup Carnival. So we're going to get to see many of them twice.
That's outstanding, which sets up the Perth Cup to be one of the hottest in many years. And you throw on top of that the strength of our local dogs at the moment and the calibre of youngsters that are coming through, and we see the times that some of these dogs in the Puppy Classic have run over the last few months. It's going to be one hell of a series.
All right, let's get into the program tonight. The first gets underway at 17 minutes past 7, and the favourite at this stage is the First Reserve, which is interesting. Cadia Gold at $2.50, Sang Cruiser at $3.70. So the fact that the favourite is the Reserve, the market's going to change up when these scratchings come through. I'll get you boys to go through your thoughts. I've just lost my phone. I'll be back in just a second.
No problem at all, Pete. Let's start things off here, Jesse, in the first. I'm really keen. I've made number 8 here in Sand Cruiser, one of the bets of the night. I think that $4 quote looks awfully generous when you have a look at what this greyhound did last time out. It wasn't isolated, so it came out, it hadn't been seen since April of 23, which is talking about 8-9 months, then returned with a lovely trial in sub 17 seconds over the 300. You thought, well, that's solo, maybe it was a bit of a fluke. I'll see how it goes on race night. Comes out from box 5 and drops a 16.88, if you do not mind. That was steaming hot. Quite simply, if it transfers that again into this particular race, I know it's 100 metres further, but it was running away from them late. I think Sand Cruiser is clearly a dog that has matured in that time away from the track. It's broken 17 both times we've seen it since. I'm just believing what my eyes have shown me. So 8 on top. Obviously just waiting for the scratchings to see what the rest of this field does look like. But as it sits right now, happy enough to have 8 on top and with some confidence. From number 6, Charlie's Harley, who I think is a greyhound that can certainly play a part here. Been racing consistently for Glenn Price of late. Number 2, Power Up Yoshi, has been consistently hitting the frame. And I'll round it out with a greyhound number 1, All About Marble. 8, 6, 2 and 1 for me in the first.
I'll go 5, 8, 2, 1. 5 Leclerc on top. Was a good third at Mandurah on Tuesday behind Western Astro, who absolutely blitzed the clock there in a 27.20. But it was beaten, 6 lengths and still ran 27.63. He's not quite getting the start right. Back to 400 metres will be interesting, but I think he could be a decent price there and represent good value. From 8, Sand Cruiser, obviously the greyhound to beat. It wasn't a country class company. He won that novice, but he's a city class winner in the past. For third, number 2, Power Up Yoshi, and for fourth, I'll throw in 1, All About Marble. 5, 8, 2 and 1.
All right, I'm going to throw a cat amongst the pigeon here and go with number 1, All About Marble, who's jumped from boxes 5, 6, 7 and 8 in his last 6 starts. He's only won 1 race, and it came from box number 1. Gets that opportunity. He's never won at Mandurah, but from the Strong Hobby Kennel, beautifully bred, I'm going to just take a throw at the stumps at $9 in the first race. So 1 on top from number 8, Sand Cruiser, who was a slick winner last start over the 300 metres. Number 2, Power Up Yoshi, and 6, Charlie's Harley, 1826. Race number 1 on the program. Race number 2 over the 400 metres once again. The favourite here, number 6, Luxio Wave at $2.50. I'm going number 3, Tick Tick Tick. Greyhound has been placed at 3 of his last 4 since winning 5 starts ago. Time was okay on that occasion. Good record from inside draws. Number 6, Luxio Wave, obviously must be respected. Was a nice run last start since coming across, having a couple of runs since coming across from Sydney. Number 2, Butter Me Up. And for fourth, I'll put in number 4, Erasmus Duke. It was a nice run last start. 3, 6, 2 and 4, Shorty.
Very similar for me, Pete. 3, 6, 4, 2, 3 on top. Tick, tick, tick. Like it when this dog draws down near the inside. Just been a wonderful place banker on the way through. Placed 11 out of 12 in its career to this point, track and trip. So, again, $1.50 the place. More than happy to throw it into some multis tonight there to run a ticky again, particularly from that inside draw. From number 6, respecting this dog enormously, Luxio Wave, getting better with each start across here in WA, in good hands with Cosy D'Agostino. For Erasmus Duke, I thought was a really encouraging effort last week. It can be there in the mix again. And number 2, Butter Me Up's been going well for Rocket Rod and Odin. 3, 6, 4, 2.
I'll go 6, 4, 3, 7. 6 Luxio Wave on top. Was a nice second last week on Sunday behind Can Utility. I think should be improving at his 4th start over the trip. For second, number 4, Erasmus Duke was a good second last start over the trip. For third, 3, Tick Tick Tick. Just think he's going to get a little bit too far back. And for fourth, I'll throw in 7, Our Girl Jupiter. 6, 4, 3 and 7, race 2.
Race number 3 is over the 652 metres. A big drop back in class for Sin Bin Sammy, who's currently the favourite on Tab Tuts Jesse at $2.80.
That's the way I've gone. 3, 7, 4 and 2. 3, Sin Bin Sammy on top. He's broken the 37-second barrier over the trip. Got a good record, 3 starts, 2 wins. Just found a little bit tougher in those heats of the distance challenge there. Back down to provincial class company, or country class company, in fact, I think should run a bold race. From 7, Papa Mono. He's been a little bit disappointing of late, but showed a bit of improvement when 4th behind Stevie Minelli in a heat. For 3rd, 4, Mongolian Tiger, and for 4th, I'll throw in 2, Jelly Minelli. 3, 7, 4 and 2, race 3.
3, 4, 2 and 7 for me here. Sin Bin Sammy, if running to its best here, should be winning it, but I just want to see the dog get out there and do it again here. Happy enough to tip it on top. Don't want to be taking too silly a price. From number 4, Mongolian Tiger. I really liked the run of Mongolian Tiger last week. It, of course, went down to Stevie Minelli, but only beaten 3.5 lengths, and Clifton Cruz had to work really hard to get by Mongolian Tiger late in the piece. I thought it was an encouraging run. 3rd run at the track and trip now, should certainly be just about ready to fire. Could give some cheek at a price. From number 2, Jelly Minelli. Oh, this dog's win 3 back was magnificent. It came from a long way back over the 488 and just sprouted wings late. The distance ideal. It'll be charging home, as will number 7, Papa Mono. 3, 4, 2, 7.
Now, I'll go 3, 7, 6 and 4 Sinbin Sammy on top in race number 3 on the program. Important scratching in the first. The favourite, which was the first reserve, doesn't get a run. There is a scratching. So the scratchings are 2 and 9. So the favourite comes out and Salah Lead now gets a run from box number 2. Is around a $26 chance prior to the scratchings. Reserves out of race 2 and 4. Race 5, scratch number 4, Madigan, comes out. Race 6, number 7, Solidified, unfortunately, comes out as well. Go down to race 8 and 9, 10, 11, take out the reserves. And in the last, Maxwell Smart is a scratching as well. Thanks, Carlo, for sending that information through there. Let's go to race number 4. And the favourite here is with number 8, Flying Frida, $2.25 into $1.75 in race number 4 on the program. I wonder if that support came when they realised, although there was support also for Couch Surfer, $3.10 into $2.30 there, Shorty. What's your thoughts here?
It's a really short price for a staying field where there is pace drawn inside. Certainly Jamie Keeping, Clifton Cruz, the Ant Dogs can both show early pace. And Flying Frida last week was run down over this distance, which was really surprising given it had come off the 700-metre form. It's likely to be better for those runs, but I'm actually just going to have a spec on the red here. This dog arrived in WA with pretty good form. Stevie Manelli gets up the track. Savic's drawn off its first 2 starts here in WA, moves to box 1, and just at the price, I thought it was worth having a little speculator around that $6.50 mark. So I'll go with the 1 on an each-way basis. From number 8, Flying Frida can win, but I think the price now is getting to the poisonous stage. I'll then include number 2, Stevie Manelli, who's been really charging home in its races. And 6, Sunset Louis, was a stunning effort to beat Flying Frida. If you like Flying Frida, you have to appreciate what Sunset Louis is doing. And I think you've got to also include number 3. The fastest qualifier for this series was Jamie Keeping. And if this was at Cannington, it'd probably be 40s or 50s. But the fact is, it was the fastest qualifier by a few lengths. And if you're having an early quaddie, I wouldn't be leaving it out. So 1 each way from 8, 2 and 6. But it's a deep, deep race. If Flying Frida gets posted and has to work, this race opens up pretty quickly.
Yeah, I've gone 6, 8, 3 and 1 with that pace aspect in the race. Sunset Louis, a greyhound who should get back and run on strongly. He's won over the 7.15 in the past in a quick 42.09, and before then took out the heat, defeated Flying Frida right on the post in 37.21. So Sunset Louis for me has got good form lines. Box is a bit of a concern, but it is over the extended trip. So I've got him on top. From 8, Flying Frida. She should be one of the early leaders. Was a good run first up over the trip. She'll take a lot of improvement out of it. For 3rd, number 3, Jamie Keeping. And for 4th, I'll throw in 1 Savic. 6, 8, 3 and 1, race 4.
I'll stick with Flying Frida. Like the support. I think she'll improve at her second look over the distance. She gets to come across with Chloe Ant with a speed out wide. So I like her positioning going into the first corner. So 8 on top. Number 3 for 2nd, Jamie Keeping. Shane Williams' team's going extremely well at the moment, and both of these are going very well over the 600 metres. So 3 for 2nd, Jamie Keeping. 2, Stevie Manelli, the kennel mate. I'll put in for 3rd, and 7, Chloe Ant. I think will be on the speed for a long time. And start number 58, 3, 2, 7, race number 4. Race number 5 on the program. This race here is over the 400 metres of free-for-all. And Madigan comes out. Equal favourites all over Carja and Renegade Cachise at $2.60. I thought Renegade Cachise is the one to beat. 4 from 4 from box number 8, 7 from 9 over the distance, and was racing in that hot Crumble Manelli form just 6 weeks ago. 7 for 2nd, all over Carja, who I obviously have respect for as the main danger. Number 3, Barrio Beast is chasing very well, and number 1, Panadero Thunder as well. 8, 7, 3, 1.
Isn't this a deep free-for-all? High quality. There's no easy races to win in WA these days, that's for sure. I'll also go with number 8, Renegade Cachise. 4 for 4 from the Floss is a handy record. Respecting number 2 here, Get a Beer. We had the Shane train on yesterday on Great Greys, and he suggested that Get a Beer trialled within a couple of lengths of a couple of the really smart dogs that we've seen come across for these short course features in the past. So I think you've got to respect it. 7 all over Carja. It's a good win last week off the inside, and the dog that was close up to it was Barrio Beast. It's there in the mix. Hard to leave out Panadero Thunder off its last 3 wins. Great race, 8, 2, 7, 3.
I'll go 8, 7, 6 and 1. Bit surprised to see him so close in the market, but Renegade Kachis gave Oliver Karja windburn and ahead of the dash over 300 metres when he missed the start, and he had to come from behind Renegade Kachis and got past Karja, who absolutely flew out. So Renegade Kachis on top from All Over Karja. For third, 6 All Over Carly, who took out the dash final last week. And for fourth, I'll throw on 1 Panadero Thunder, 8, 7, 6 and 1.
Race number 6 over the 488 metres. We see the return of the national sprint champion Sage Tennille. Solidified comes out, so she gets a vacant box on her inside. She's currently at $3.90 in from $4.20. But there's also been support for Hinto into $2.15. Good record from the inside draw. He's got a good record of the track and distance. What do you expect to see from Sage Tennille?
Sage Tennille, I'm not 100% sure what we'll see from Sage Tennille tonight from box number 8. If Sage Tennille can show her best, she'll be very hard to beat. But I'm making Hinto one of my best bets on the program here. I love what the dog's done since getting a look at the Mandurah 488-metre trip. 4 starts there for 3 wins and a placing. The other thing that I've really liked about what has happened with Hinto since the new Mandurah track is opened is that was probably traditionally known as being a dog that sat midfield in its races. Mandurah seems to have really sharpened it up out of the boxes, and most times now, Hinto in any race that's been going around in either at Cannington or Mandurah has been sitting in the top couple a lot of the time. And from box number 1, I can just see Hinto getting a lovely run here, being right up on top of the speed. And we saw last time out a hot 29.83 winner defeating Crumble Manelli. I'm very, very keen. Made it the best bet on the program. There was $3 around about Hinto. I thought that was a real spoil. Happy to have it on top. Respecting number 8, Sage Tennille. If Sage Tennille brings its best and gets a clear run, it's going to be hard to hold out. Number 4, Pudding Manelli is a greyhound that loves Mandurah 488. It has to be thrown into the mix. And I'll also include number 6 there in Sunset Mirage. Another good race, though. Sandpatch, Startup Ando. They're all really nice dogs. I'll make Hinto, though, the best on the card, 1846.
I'll go 1, 4, 8 and 5. Hinto from box number 1, 5 starts, 2 wins, and he's going to get all the room in the world. Western Gecko, a noted wide runner, same 2 Startup Ando. So this is Hinto's race to lose. He's going to get all the space in the world. From 4, Pudding Manelli. Nice second last start behind Sandpatch. For third, number 8, Sage Tennille. And for fourth, I'll throw in 5, Sandpatch there. 1, 4, 8 and 5, race 6.
Yeah, Hinto on top for me, so we all agree there. From the inside draw, gets plenty of galloping room early. Sage Tennille for second. The question mark for me is why she didn't go to town, why Cody didn't send her to town if she was right at a peak. And obviously she doesn't need to be at a peak just yet with the Perth Cup 3.
Just a small concern on the draw too. She's had 8 starts from box number 8 for just 1 win and 1 placing, and 0 for 2 from box 7 and yet to win from box number 6 in 6 attempts. So 16 starts 16 starts from 6, 7 and 8 for just 1 win. Prefer to see Sage Tennille drawn closer in.
1, 8, 5 and 4 for me in race number 6. Race 7 over the 400 metres, and here we see the favourite being number 1, West on Fever at $3.40. I thought Sunset Callisto would be very hard to beat considering the fact that he's won these last 3. I know he's stepping up in grade, but I like the fact that he's got that early speed to be able to get across and position early, and West on Fever won at start number 100. Can he go back to back? I'm saying no tonight. So 2 Sunset Callisto, 1 West on Fever, 8 Light Manelli has been chasing well, and at number 4 West on Odie, 2, 1, 8 and 4. 2, 1, 8 and 4 for Pete here in race number 7. Gee, it's an outstanding race. I've sort of said it about a few races, but the depth tonight on show is there for all to see. This is another great example of it. The 2 greyhounds drawn wide on the track have both been going gangbusters of late over the shorter trip. Black Salmon, that win from box 7, 2 back, 16.81 electric. Then in the final, I thought was very good behind All Over Carly. Light Manelli's been different gravy. It has been flying there over the shorter trip. I'm actually going to spec number 8 here, Light Manelli. I just love the way that it's going at the moment for Morgan Turner, and happy enough to be with it. So I'll go 8 on top from greyhound number 7, Black Salmon. I don't think there's a stack between them. 2 Sunset Callisto is a huge show, as is number 1, West on Fever. Another really deep, high-quality affair, 8, 7, 2 and 1. Jesse?
I'll go 1, 2, 3 and 7. Number 1, West on Fever on top. Was breathtaking at Cannington in his last 3 attempts there. Was a good second behind Stella Feather and won those 2 country class free-for-alls. He's a proven provincial free-for-all chaser in the past. We don't think the grade's going to be too much of an issue. I think experience is going to get him over the line here. From 2, Sunset Callisto, who's won his last 3 all over the trip. For 3rd, number 3, Impress Rocks. And for 4th, I'll throw in 7, Black Salmon. Let's not forget, he's a free-for-all winner in the past in 22-23. So it's a good race. Plenty of form lines, 1, 2, 3 and 7.
Let's go to race number 8 at the final leg of the quaddie. And here the favourite is with number 6, Alfie Tux at $3.20. Can his early speed get him across to lead and win again, Jesse?
Yeah, I'd be surprised if it doesn't, to be honest. He broke the Mandurah 300-metre track record at his last attempt from a wide draw. So don't think the box is going to be too much of a concern. For 2nd, 5, Brain Teaser. Another greyhound will be up there on speed. For 3rd, 4, Sunset Viper. And for 4th, I'll throw in 1, Leroy Keeping, who's been improving these last couple of starts. 6, 5, 4 and 1.
6, 5, 4 and 1 for Jesse. I'll make number 6, Alfie Tux, one of the best bets on the program.
Good price.
What price is it?
It's still $3.20.
Oh, that's balaclava stuff.
Leads.
Yeah, you'd be feeling guilty taking the money off the tote operator post-race.
Never feel guilty taking money off anyone, Shorty.
16.74 last time out. What was most impressive was just the way that this dog just blew them up. Like it was over after 3 strides. One of the better beginners I've seen in WA for a little while, this fellow, Alfie Tux, and if he can reproduce that early burn again here, he's going to put a bit of a break on these and may well be off and gone by the time they work out what's happened. So 6 on top from number 1 in Leroy Keeping, who certainly from the draw is going to get a good look at them. Thought number 8, Blast of Iris, was worth including at a decent price. It'll be really strong late, and it does like a wide draw. It'll get room to wind up there. I'll round it out with greyhound number 4, Sunset Viper, 6, 1, 8 and 4 for me in race number 8.
Do your rallies part in that?
My father-in-law's got a share in this one, Alfie Tux, along with his good mate Don Casson. So good luck to the crew tonight there with Alfie Tux.
I agree. 6 on top from 1, Leroy Keeping. Number 4, Sunset Viper. 2, City Cowboy. 6, 1, 4 and 2. But I think he leads and wins, and it is a good price at the moment. Race number 9. Short price favourite here is our Benson. Greyhound has been knocking on the door in good company recently. He's currently at $1.75, so he's short enough. I think he wins, though, from number 4, Jason Keeping. Was a nice winner in good time up at Cannington a few runs ago. Number 1, Jumpin' Jules, has got only a reasonable record from box number 1. I'm not overly impressed with his record at the track and distance. And 2, Wild Ollie, but 5, 4, 1 and 2. But he's short enough in my opinion.
Yes, I agree. It's a tip no bet race for me. I think that our Benson's best would be winning this, but I left a little bit in as the last leg of a couple of multis last week with Benson, so I just a small trust issue off that.
It was a horrible watch.
It was not pretty.
Really
it wasn't pretty, no. But once bitten, twice shy, they say. So happy enough to just watch him go around. I'm happy to see him win. He's been a good dog on the way through, winning 7 of 13. Squeeze draw, not perfect, but if it gets a start right, will be hard to beat. Outside of it, I thought number 3, Conniption, at a price could run a good race. You go back through this dog's form, and it was a 21.85 winner at Cannington over the 380. That's a pretty good time reference for a race like this, and if it can run to that, I could see it playing a part at a price. I thought number 7, Alden Manelli's a dog that I always throw into the mix. It's a bit of an in and out customer, but its best is very capable of figuring in a field of this note, and 4, Jason Keeping next best. 5, 3, 7, 4.
I'll go 5, 1, 8 and 3. 5, Al Benson on top. I think he's got lengths on this field, so even after last week, I think you can afford to give him a head start as well. For 2nd, number 1, Jumping Jules, has been racing only fairly at Mandurah, but that was in the tougher company. For 3rd, 8, Little Bit Sour, and for 4th, I'll throw in 3, Conniption at 5, 1, 8 and 3.
Race number 10 on the program. We'll be cracking a tinny open for the 50 years of racing, the Terry Erenshaw, tonight at 2 minutes past 10, Jesse. The favourite is with number 1, Rare Speed at $2.
Yeah, I'm sure if I asked him, I'm sure this would be his biggest thrill in racing, getting a race named after himself.
Good on you, Terry.
Yeah, I won't say too much. I do have to go home tonight. 1, 3, 8 and 7. Number 1, Rare Speed on top. It's a good winner from a wide draw last start from box number 8. Comes into box 1 where it's got a good record. I think it's going to be pretty hard to beat. From 3, Can You Refine. There's not too much separating these two. I just think Rare Speed will lead Can You Refine early. For 3rd, 8, Solid Tank, he'll be flying home late. And for 4th, 7, Semicon Browse has run some nice races over the 488. 1, 3, 8 and 7 in race 10.
A good race. Just draw-wise, I will lean towards number 1, Rare Speed, to push up and hold that advantage off the inside. Respecting number 8, Solid Tank, who can certainly show that early burn and be right there in the mix. 3, Kenya Refine's very capable. Just got to get that start right. And including number 6, Ash the Flash, who's always a great each-way bet. The run was massive again last week. This dog's right in the zone. Rocket Rod's got Ash the Flash ticking over beautifully at the moment, and the times have been good enough to figure in the finish. It's at a good price and maybe worth a spec tonight. 1-8-3-6.
I'll go 3, 1, 8 and 7. Kenya Refined to win here. Good form, good time 3 starts ago. 1 Rare Speed obviously deserves to be the favourite. Number 8 Solid Tank. I agree with what you're saying, Shorty. And Sammy Can Browse has been showing speed over the 488 metres recently. If she can show that sort of form in this race, she might be able to run into the novelties. 3, 1, 8 and 7. Race 11 over the 300 metres. Thumbs Up Noah, the favourite at $2.90. 3 from 3 up in town. Times have all been slick and comes across, and I think the box draw actually suits him. So I'm going 8 on top. 1 Hecton's Boy. Nice win first up over the distance from a wide draw. Number 3 Maximum Carnage. And 2 Vacillate. 8, 1, 3 and 2, Jesse.
I'll go 4, 1, 8 and 7 for Mazuma Mayhem on top. He's been racing over the 400 and the 380 at Cannington. Just doesn't quite get the trip back down to the 300 metres for the first time in his career. I think he can really improve on the clock and be pretty hard to beat for Sean Kavanagh. For second, number 1, Hecton's Boy ran that quick time in grade 6 company last week. For third, 8 Thumbs Up Noah. Interesting to see how he'll go first up at Mandurah. And for fourth, number 7, Circle the Sea. 4, 1, 8 and 7.
4, 1, 8 and 7 for Jesse. I've just specced at the price on the 4 as well here, Mazuma Mayhem. I'm not sure whether the step back in trip is going to be perfect, but the step back in class is certainly going to assist. Back to a country grade 5 and 6 for a dog that's been running in much tougher on the way through. Mazuma Mayhem, if it can get the start right, it's a classy type and it'll be pretty hard to stack. From number 8, Thumbs Up Noah, who's done nothing wrong. Well done to you, Dave. Nice to see you with a good dog in your care. Hopefully it can run well for you tonight on debut there at Mandurah. Number 1, Hecton's Boy. Well, for a stayer to drop 17-13, I nearly blacked out when I saw that time last time out, but something similar would see it hard to beat. And number 3, Maximum Carnage, next best. 4, 8, 1, 3.
Race number 12, the last over the 488. 1 and 5 are out. The favourite, number 6, Kisses for Chaos at $2.25. Does look hard to beat.
Yeah, I'd like to see it drawn a little closer in, and Kiss of Chaos, another one that was just a crook watch last week. I thought it was going to boot up and be hard to beat. Cool Waiting in the end proved to be too good. I'm going to lean that way. I've got a lot of time for the dog. Just needs to get across into a spot early doors. That'll be the key to the race. From number 7, Harley Manelli, who's likely to be pretty strong at the back end of proceedings here. Good luck to Hayley Atkins, doing a good job with her team. I'll include 3, Power of Molly, who's also in with winning claims, and 2, Stella Gundy, going well for Jeff Reed. Good finish to the night. 6, 7, 3, 2.
I'll go 6, 2, 7 and 4. 6 Kisses for Chaos on top. Was a good winner from an inside draw in 27-26. His wide box record isn't great, but I'll stick with him on trust. From 2, Stella Gundy was a nice running country class company in 27-44. Defeated Messed Up Mary when getting the bob on the line. For third, 7 Harley Manelli. This greyhound's been up in class over the 488, so drops back down to a more suitable grade. She'll be a big improver. And for fourth, number 4, Refer to Trader, 6, 2, 7 and 4.
I think she's better than these Kisses for Chaos, so I'm happy to go with her. Number 6 on top. From number 7, Harley Manelli. Number 2 in Stella Gundy, and 4 Refer to Trader, 6, 7, 2 and 4 in the last. Let's head to Ryan Levitsky. His father celebrated his 70th birthday, I think, last week. Ryan, very happy birthday to your dad. And how do we find you this morning?
Very well, Pete. A lot happier than last Friday. I was a little bit grumpy.
You were. Yeah, you were. We did get a lot of messages on the Retrovision text line, but that's okay. We move forward. What's your best tonight?
I really like 3 dogs tonight, Pete. I like their odds as well. Race 1, number 8, Sand Cruiser. Brilliant first up over 300. Good odds as well, 390 on offer. Race 7, number 7, Black Salmon, is absolutely flying. It's a good field, but Black Salmon with a clean getaway and no contact with number 8, Light Manelli, is going to be winning, I think. So race 7, number 7, and race 8, number 6, Alfie Tux, is going to set up a lead and hopefully hang on at $3.10, broke the 300-metre track record last start.
All right, good to see. Have you done a quaddie for tonight?
No quaddie tonight, no.
All right, let's turn our attention across to Saturday night. We have the heats of the Puppy Classic. Where does your best come from?
Race 2, number 2, Can You Kraken, will lead and will win. Race 8, number 1, Can You Mia. I just think offers a bit of value. I like these Kenya dogs of McLaren's over the 520. And race 11, number 8, Hurricane Taylor, looks too good for those. So race 2, number 2, race 8, number 1, race 11, number 8, and a quaddie for $36, 245 into 2346, into number 2, Couch Surfer, into numbers 1, 3 and 6.
Okay, the temperatures are pretty warm for Sunday and Monday, so there's obviously some doubt over those two meetings, but have you found anything on the Sunday, Monday or Tuesday if they do go ahead?
I have, Pete. I'm going to throw you a wrong and no, it's not in WA. Monday on the grass at Bundaberg, there's a Masters race over 460 metres, and somehow Eagle Manelli has landed there. So the former WA chaser, who's earned plenty of money, is in Queensland now. He's out in the bush and, well, should absolutely blow that field away. Race 4, number 4, Monday at the Bundaberg Dogs.
That's one thing that you can give to Ryan Levitsky every day of the week, Shorty, that there's not one dog that races in Australia that he doesn't know where it's racing.
Extraordinary for you to find that. Extraordinary for you to be having already looked at Bundaberg on a Monday, Ryan Levitsky.
I do like the grass on the on a Monday at Bundy.
Good on you, mate.
It's very interesting.
Kids off to school, sky on in the backdrop, and away you go at Bundy. Well, it kicks off normally about 10 o'clock, doesn't it?
It does, Shorty, but by golly gosh, those maidens at Bundy are they're raffles. They're the slowest of the slow.
Great catching up, Ryan. Enjoy your weekend.
Thank you.
Ryan Levitsky there, and just throwing us some WA form up in Bundaberg up in North Queensland. Okay, Shorty, your best in a quaddie, please.
Best bets for a Friday night chasing at Mandurah. Race 1, number 8, Sand Cruiser. If it runs to that last start performance, should be hard to beat. The price was good. Race 6, number 1, Hinto. Love the map. Love the way the dog's going. Love it here at Mandurah over the 488. And race 8, number 6, the track record holder over the shorter trip, Alfie Tuck. So I'm putting a bit of faith in two dogs that have run really quick times last time over 300 up to the 400, but if they run to what they've done there, they should have a bit of a space on their opposition. So 1-8-6-1-8-6 for me tonight there at Mandurah, and my quadrilla, first leg numbers 1, 2, 3, 7, 8. Second leg 1 and 8. Third leg 1, 2, 7, 8, and then home with 1, 6 and 8. That's 1, 2, 3, 7, 8, 1, 8, 1, 2, 7, 8, 1, 6, 8. That will cost you $120 for a full unit. $24 will get you 20%.
Jesse?
Race 5, number 8, Renegade Chaser Like. Race 6, number 1, Hinter as well in the free-for-all. And race 8, number 6, Alfie Tux is going to be pretty hard to beat, and you're getting a good good quote there. For a quote, we'll go 7-8 the first leg, 1-8 the second leg, 1, 2, 7 and 8 the third leg, and the final leg 4, 5, 6 there, Pete.
All right, let's get into this Saturday night program, and we start off on Saturday night with the first at 7 after 7, and the maiden over the 520 metres. No market up just at the moment, but there were a couple that have been trialling okay and racing okay as well. Which way are you going in the first, Jesse?
I'll go 1, 8, 4 and 7. 1, Casper's Pass on top. His last two have been a bit disappointing, and it shows on the clock, but before then was a good second behind Go Get Him Greta, and what caught my eye, 5.55 early. That should be good enough to lead this field into the first corner. For second, 8 Nice Wicket was a good run there on Wednesday. For third, 4 in Quicklands, and for fourth, I'll throw in 7 Lady Sherwood, 1, 8, 4 and 7.
This is an absolute raffle to kick off proceedings here on Saturday night out at Cannington. I am going to lean towards this box draw related. Casper's Pass gets every possible off the inside draw to be there and in the mix. From number 8 in Nice Wicket for Joe Daly. Gets room to wind up out wider on the track, including number 2, Connie Keeping for the trains. Got the team going really well at the moment. And I'll also include ground number 6, TikTok Moment, who's very capable. Watching out for the 5, Pingelly Prince. He could improve sharply here as well. Not a race I'll be betting into. We'll learn more. 1, 8, 2 and 6 in the first.
Very similar, Shorty. I'll go 2, 1, 5 and 8 with number 2, Connie Keeping on top. I think with the box draw, her runs haven't been too bad, and I think now in the care of Shane Williams, she can race well on Saturday night. Race number 2, Jim Lee comes out. Jamie Marsh with 3 winners on Wednesday night. His team's on fire, and Kenya Kraken has now firmed into $1.95 with that scratching, Shorty.
Indeed, and I think it'll be very hard to beat. Kenya Kraken gets a good chance. First time in a little while, drawn close to the rail and likely to find the arm on its own. That's generally an equation that sees Kenya Kraken doing good things, in great hands with Paul Stewart. I don't think we've seen the best of Kenya Kraken yet either, and this may well be the sort of race where the dog can garner a little bit of confidence and get on its way from there. Thought there was a big danger, though, drawn out there in the Fairy Floss, Vander Harley. Love the way this dog's been going. Won from a wide draw last time out in 30 flat. Prior to that, from box number 7, came from second last on the home corner and rattled home to finish placed in 29.87. I thought it looked a great Quinella play, 2 and 8 here in race number 2 on the program. We'll then include greyhound number 1, Night Moon, and also number 4 in Hard Maintenance. 2, 8. They look at a lovely Quinella from 1 and 4.
I'll go 2, 4, 8 and 1. 2, Kenya Kraken on top. Obviously, the greyhound at beat. He's got the early speed to lead this race. Got into all sorts of trouble 2 weeks ago when Victory Road was able to sweep around him at the home corner, at the first corner. For second, number 4, Hard Maintenance. She trialled well during the week after she missed that run last week. For third, number 8, Vander Harley. And for fourth, I'll throw in 1, Night Moon. 2, 4, 8 and 1.
I'll go 2, 8, 1 and 6. Number 2, Kenya Kraken. We're all tipping him with his speed to be able to get right on the top of the lure and race away. He's been racing against some smart types when last start out behind Victory Road. Number 8 for second, Vander Harley. 1, Night Moon. And number 6, Marathon. Well done to Kevin Phillips. That's a big training performance to get a greyhound back from so long on the sidelines. First up, win in a maiden in 30 and 26. Time was good, and I wouldn't be surprised to see her improve as well. 2, 8, 1, 6.
He's always been a very clever man with his team, Kevin Phillips. He's been one of my favourite trainers over the years. It's great to see him with a couple of dogs, and you're right, Pete. The patience was certainly there, and he was rewarded last time out. Hopefully that's the start of some good things for Marathon. Good luck to you, Kev.
Race number 3 over the 600. Storm Alert's currently the favourite at $3.40. I think that's a good price, and one of my better bets on the program. Has won 2 of 4, hasn't finished further back than second in all 4 starts. He's a nice type, and I think he'll play a major part here. For Mustang Timmy, first up over the distance. It'll be interesting to see how he goes. For third, number 7, Argyle Queen, who hasn't been seen since September, but is undefeated in 2 starts over the trip. And number 6, Wooden Hands, 3, 4, 7 and 6.
Good race. Storm Alert's certainly a greyhound that's on the way up. There's plenty of upside with the dog. We have seen it have the 4 attempts here over the trip for 2 wins and 2 seconds. So I'll go 3 on top, but I'm respecting number 4 here, Mustang Timmy. That effort last time out, running 29.86 behind Burglemere, was good, and it was really strong late, and the breeding, Tommy Shelby, West on Holly, suggests the trip will be no issue. So 3, but respecting 4, and wouldn't be at all surprised to see it be a fairly tight finish here. Number 8, Carter Axelrod, is a dog that very rarely misses the frame. Ultra consistent. Jay Jacobson has done a great job with this fellow. And I'll round it out with greyhound number 1, Miss Ronnie Mack. 3, 4, 8 and 1. Ace in Cooner, and also Wooden Hands, Argyle Queen. They're all in. I wouldn't rule any greyhound out of playing this race, Jesse, but for me, Storm Alert and Mustang Timmy are the 2 I'm leaning towards.
Yeah, 3, 1, 7 and 4 for me. 3, Storm Alert on top. He's got experience over the trip recently as well. We've got Miss Ronnie Mack, who I've got for seconds, coming off a spell. Obviously, last week missed out on a run with the meeting being abandoned too. So I'm going with race fitness with Storm Alert on top. From 1, Miss Ronnie Mack. For third, 7, Argyle Queen, who has a good record over the trip. And for fourth, 4, Mustang Timmy. 3, 1, 7 and 4. Race
number 4, free for all over the 520 metres. Favourite is number 5, Honestly 2 at $3.50. I must say that this greyhound in Honestly 2 is a greyhound who 2 starts back ran second behind Go See Katoni when run down, and then we missed that race last week. It'll be interesting to see how she goes. From memory, she drew box 1 last week in that free-for-all that was called off. She's drawn box 5. I'm happy to risk her. What about you?
I was a little disappointed with the loss to Go See Katoni, and I just want to see the dog return to its best here. It's a chance, though, because when Honestly 2 does step, it's normally hard to run down. We've seen it run some really quick times at Cannington. This was a bit of a challenge. My mind tells me Inside Scoop's a dog that I've sort of loved more when it's drawn off the track, but it's actually got really good box 1 numbers. 6 starts for 3 wins, 3 placings, and even when it's been slow out, that performance at Mandurah 4 back, 22.56 behind Cubit Manelli, all things considered, was a pretty solid run.
Did you see who he beat 2 starts ago?
Hinto.
Not bad form.
It's good form. This dog's actually stepped up and become one of our premier sprinters over the last 4 months. It's really fizzed its way through the grades. I'm going to lean that way, number 1, Inside Scoop, but it's a really open race. From number 3, Bungee Man, who's another that's going super at the moment, including 4, Nangar Chief. If it gets a little bit jammy, Nangar Chief will be really strong to the line here. And number 5, honestly, too, well, it's certainly very capable. If it returns to its best here, it can absolutely lead, run, quick time and be hard to beat. But tricky race, 1, 3, 4, 5.
I'll go 1, 6, 4 and 2. I think, honestly, 2 is a big risk here. There's plenty of speed in the outside. No limit needed. Carla Cat up, Moment to Hustle. They're all capable of a quick 5:40 on their night. I've gone 1, 6, 4 and 2. 1 Inside Scoop on top. Great record from box 1. 6 starts, 3 wins and 3 minors. Defeated Hinto 2 back, and we've all got Hinto on top at Mandurah tonight. For second, 6 Moment to Hustle. For third, 4 Nangar Chief. And for fourth, 2 Uncle Tommy. Be interesting to see how he goes first up in a much harder race, 1, 6, 4 and 2.
I'm going with 1 Inside Scoop as well, one of the better bets on the program for me. Wait till you see the best of the litter return to the track in the next couple of weeks.
Look out.
Yeah. Inside Scoop on top, 2 Uncle Tommy. I'm going to stick with him this week. I was off him last week because of the where he'd drawn. He's a very, very talented chaser, and I'm going to put him in to run second. Number 5, Honesty, 2, I think's a risk, and 3, Bungee Man. So 1, 2, 5 and 3 in race number 4 on the program. Let's go to race number 5, and this is the first heat of the Puppy Classic. David Hobby has 11 of the 15 runners engaged, and Ghost Emoji is one of those, currently at 360, drawn out in box number 6. He's a talented type, isn't he, Shorty? He's won his last 3, 2 of those down at Mandurah. That final over our Benson was a really slick run. Where he gets too early is the question mark, but I think he's got enough nous to be able to work his way through, and I think missing the early speed here is going to play in his favour. 7 Sunset Nightjar on his outside is going to get across, and I find he'll be the early leader, and I think Ghost Emoji then has the chance to run him down. 1 Wise Barra, I think, can actually upset the Hobby Kennel and get through to the final, and number 2 Sunset Serengeti, 6, 7, 1 and 2.
I'm going to go with number 6, Ghost Emoji, and just bank on the dog's class to come to the fore. As you touch on, the map isn't necessarily spectacular, but this dog's got a massive engine, and I'll just hand over to Ghost Emoji to navigate a way through if it does. Gee whiz, it's got a massive motor, and look forward to seeing it let rip in this race. Number 1, Wise Barra from the inside draw. We've seen this dog show some good early in recent times. It could once again find the top here, and from there be pretty hard to stack. Number 2, Sunset Serengeti is very, very capable, and 7, Sunset Nightjar. 6, 1, 2 and 7, race number 5.
I'll go 2, 5, 7 and 6. 2 Sunset Serengeti on top. I think she's flown under the radar. Was a good winner in a novice in 29.68. She will be tested in open class company for the first time in just a short career. For second, number 5 Sunset Comanche, another greyhound who has got an electric personal best. For third, number 7 in Sunset Nitro has got that early speed. And for fourth, 6 Ghost Emoji. Just wonder where he's going to get to at the first corner. 2, 5, 7 and 6.
Just take note that the meeting at Taree today has been abandoned due to the state of the track. A lot of rain in New South Wales, so Taree has been abandoned. Let's go to race number 6, the second heat of the Puppy Classic. The favourite here is Cubit Manelli at $2.10, out from $2.05. Sunset Tyson at $2.70. Interesting second heat, Jesse. Which way are you going here?
Well, last week I had Sunset Tyson on top from the box draw. With the heats being abandoned, the field's redrawn, I'm going to have to go with Cubit Manelli on top. Was a good winner at Mandurah in 22 flat. He's broken 21 seconds there. He's broken the 488-metre track record. He's got a great record over the trip, 7 starts for 3 wins. He's quick early. I think he's going to take a lot of catching. From the kennelmate Sunset Tyson, if there's a greyhound that could match motors with it, it's definitely going to be him. For third, number 1, Sunset Lasso. And for fourth, I'll throw in 6, Sunset Fraser. 2, 4, 1 and 6.
Very similar for me. I'll make number 2, Cubit Manelli, one of the best bets on the program. Huge engine, this fellow. From the draw, I think it's going to get a good opportunity to posse up right close to the arm, and that's where Cubit does its best work. It'll be pressing the nitro button down the back. I don't know there'll be too many that can keep up from there. From number 4, Sunset Tyson, this dog is no slouch either. It's dropped to 29.45. Isn't it crazy? We talk about the upcoming series. Dave Hobby's got 2 dogs here that have gone 29, 45 and 42. very, very, you've got a really nice dog on your hands when you're running sub 29.7, and he's got two here that have gone sub 29.5. So very smart types, the pair of them. Next best, number 8, got the cash. The visitor, good luck to Maddie Lanigan. Great to see you across in WA. Good luck with the pink runner here. And 6 in Sunset Frazier, 2486.
I'll go 2 on top as well. Cubit Manelli to beat 4 Sunset Tyson. I think it's a good Quinella. 6 Sunset Frazier and number 3 Shy Emoji, 2463. Race number 6 to race number 7 on the program. And this is the free-for-all Couch Surfer at $1.16. I know the field's not overly strong, but gee whiz, I've been disappointed with his last couple of runs. I thought he was a special last week. I had him in all of my multis and that went out of the window, and so did the dummy from the couch very early last week, Shorty. I'm not taking $1.16. I'll tip him on top from 4 Speed Freak, who's chasing really well. Number 1 Disco Trixie and 8 Dusty Deluxe, 2, 4, 1 and 8.
Shazam for me, 2, 4, 1 and 8. That might be just about the way to play the race, because I won't be stepping anywhere near that $1.16. Couch Surfer, I guess, to be fair, the dog's just having a bit of a flat spot. They're not robots, and prior to this little patch, Couch Surfer had been week in, week out, just turning up and winning for fun. So maybe the hot weather might be a bit of an issue with Couch Surfer, just knock the dog around a little bit. I'll tell you what, though, Chris Hulse, you don't count a good man out for too long. I'm sure he'll get Couch Surfer back firing on all cylinders pretty soon, and this does look to be, while it's not a betting proposition, it's a pretty good opportunity to get some confidence back with a field like this and a draw like this. I think Couch Surfer wins. From 4 Speed Freak, 1 Disco Trixie, 8 Dusty Deluxe.
I'll go 2, 1, 4 and 8, 2 Couch Surfer on top. I think he's just been found out in the bigger fields of late, so back to a 5-dog field. I think he's going to be awfully hard to beat. From 1 Disco Trixie, 4 Speed Freak and 8 Dusty Deluxe, 2, 1, 4 and 8.
Final leg of the quaddie, Jesse, West on Booney's the favourite at $2.70.
I've gone away from him. Up with Kanyamere on top. I think could lead here and be pretty hard to catch. Good second ahead of her last 2 behind Uncle Tommy and Nangar Chief, who both go around in free-for-all company on Saturday night. For second, 3 West on Booney. A little bit disappointing, but he's back right down in class, so expecting a fair bit of improvement from him, and he needs to be honest, off his recent efforts. For third, 2 Spider Venom, and for fourth, I'll throw in 6 Tweak Freak. 1, 3, 2 and 6 in race 8.
Teaming up with my old mate West on Booney here, just in this grade of race. Surely it's only a matter of time. He's proven himself to be one of the most exciting dogs in the state when firing on all cylinders, and I guess a little bit like Couch Surfer, just been a bit unlucky last few runs. This looks a chance in a race where there's a fair bit of early pace. I just thought there could be a couple cooking each other up at the top of the kitchen, and that could allow West on Booney to get that room mid-race to wind up, and will be really strong over the concluding stages. So 3 on top, West on Booney. From number 1, Kanyamere, who, if it gets left alone up front, will take some running down. 2 Spider Venom looks well placed in a race like this, and my old mate Ripon Tomahawk can never be let out of proceedings. If it happened to find the top, it's a hard dog to get past. 3, 1, 2 and 5.
I agree. Number 3, West on Booney, one of the better bets on the program to win and bounce back. Number 1, Kanyamere is nicely drawn. Number 6, Tweak Freak is chasing well, and 2 Spider Venom, 3, 1, 6, 2, race 8. Race 9 over the 380, no market up at the moment. Number 6, Touch of Tommy, very classy chaser. That 1-2 starts back and then didn't have a lot of luck last start. Got checked at a very important point of the race. So 6 on top. From number 3, Wise Kunak was a nice winner in good time from a wide draw last start. 1 Whole Shot, and number 2, Wise Abalone, 6, 3, 1 and 2.
6, 3, 1 and 2 for Pete there in race number 9. This is a race where I'm pretty keen on Wise Kunak. I thought that win last time out was really impressive, and if it can just step similar and be up there near the top of the speed, I think it'll go on and be pretty hard to run down. I actually thought it was a great each-way style of bet if the odds allow, and had it in the mix as one of my better plays of the night. So 3 Wise Kunak on top. From Greyhound, number 6, Touch of Tommy, clearly got a pretty bright future. Continues to improve each time it goes to the track. Number 2, Wise Abalone, is certainly in with claims. And number 8 in Essential Choice is another. Its best sort of sub 22. We'll see it right in the mix here. 3, 6, 2 and 8 for me each way. And one of the better plays, Wise Kunak. How do you see it, Jesse?
Yeah, I've got Wise Kunak on top. I liked her last week before the meeting was abandoned. Then she went out on Wednesday and won in that 21.87. I've got her on top here. Front number 1, Whole Shot, an interesting runner. Gets box number 1, was a good second behind Go-Go Sonic over the 488. Back down in trip, has won over the 380 in the past. For third, 2, Wiser Baloney. And for fourth, I'll throw in 6 Touch of Tommy, 3, 1, 2 and 6.
She won when? Last Wednesday or the Wednesday before?
Wednesday before.
When was the meeting abandoned?
The Saturday.
After?
Yes.
Okay. Race number 10. I thought you were mentioning that he won again on Wednesday. Pepper Grinder is a scratching here from race number 10. Favourite is number 8, Molfetta Drive, Jesse, at 290.
Yeah, an interesting race. The 600-metre novices, 8, 1, 5 and 4. 8 Molfetta Drive on top, just with experience over the trip. I liked him last week as well when the meeting was abandoned, so I reward him on trust. He's broken 35 seconds a couple of times in his career. For second, number 1, Pepper Grinder. Interesting to see how she'll go.
It's out. Pepper Grinder's out.
Pepper Grinder's
there you
out.
Go. So 8, 5, 4. 5 Care Factor in for second. Was a nice run behind Gimli. For third, 4 Drifter. And for fourth, I'll throw in 2 Girl Hill. First time over the trip. 8, 5, 4 and 2.
Very, very interesting affair here. Care Factor is a dog that does interest me a little bit here, but I'm going to team up with greyhound number 4, Drifter. This dog has defeated Molfetta Drive, or beaten at home at a couple of recent runs, not by a lot, but by a little bit, and it generally has been a bit better out. So I'll go with 4 Drifter. From number 5, Care Factor, 8 Molfetta Drive, and you could almost box them. I don't think there's a stack between them, to be fair. And then I will include number 7, Pretty Hot. 4, 5, 8 and 7.
I think he's a good thing, Care Factor. I think he leads and wins 5 on top from number 8, Molfetta Drive, number 4, Drifter, and 2, Girl Hill, 5, 8, 4, 2. Race number 10. Race 11, thank God we see him back over the 600 metres again. Yamasaki Bale should never leave this trip. He's the $2.35 favourite, and I think he wins again. I know you'll be tipping Hurricane Taylor, Shorty, but I like Yamasaki Bale. I think he's flying. Well, it's not obvious he's flying at the moment. He was beaten over the 520, but steps back to the 600. Good draw. 8, Hurricane Taylor has to be able to overcome the wide draw. For third, number 2, Penny Magic, and 4, Corborn Roses, 1, 8, 2 and 4.
1, 8, 2 and 4 for Pete there in race number 11. Yeah, I just love the way that Hurricane Taylor's been going in those real top grade races. Respecting Yamasaki Bale, though, always hard to beat. 2, Penny Magic could potentially be the fly in the ointment for Yamasaki early. It can spear on its night, and if it was to lead, it'd be actually pretty hard to run down. And 6 in Rhino Bale, I think it'll just keep getting better with more time here in WA, settling in and getting a feel for things. Good race, though. 8, 1, 2, 6.
I'll go 8, 2, 1 and 4. 8 Hurricane Taylor on top. Good record over the trip. 22 starts for 6 wins, 5 minors. Got that quick 34.57 to his name. From number 2, Penny Magic, took out that 600-metre feature. For third, number 1, Yamasaki Bale, and for fourth, I'll throw in 4 Corborn Raises, 8, 2, 1 and 4.
And to the last, I mark it up, 8, 2, 6 and 1 for me. Sunset Hornet to get across from the wide draw and bounce back in the winners list for David Hoppy.
I'm with you, Pete. Like the floss runner here, the Hornet gets room to zoom and likes it out there in box number 8. From 2, Obsessed Much, one of the best beginners in the state right now. 1, Sassy Snickers will appreciate the draw there, and 6. Outlaw McGraw's a really nice dog. So 8, 2, 1, 6 and 4 is a must include for tries first fours. Teflon Sunny, 8, 2, 1, 6.
Good little race for a 380-metre grade 5, but 8 on top. Sunset Hornet from 1, Sassy Snickers, 2, Obsessed Much, and 6, Outlaw McGraw. 8, 1, 2, 6. Best bets, race 2, number 2, Kenya Kraken, and race 3, number 3, Storm Alert. They're my 2 plays for Saturday. For a quaddie, we'll go 3, 5, 6 and 7 the first leg. 2 for the second leg. Standout 2, Couch Surfer in the third leg there, and home with 1 and 3 in the final leg there. What about yourself, Shorty?
Best bets on the program. Race 2, number 2, Can You Kraken, and I love the 2-8 Quinella in that race. Race 6, number 2, Cubit Manelli, and race 9, number 3, Wise Kunak, if the odds allow there, close to each way. 2-2, 6-2, 9-3, and my quaddie for Saturday night. First leg, numbers 1, 2, 6 and 7. Second leg, I'm going with just 2 and 4 only there, Cubit Manelli and Sunset Tyson. The third leg, just 1 out with number 2, Couch Surfer, hoping it gets back to its best. And final leg, I'll go with numbers 1, 2, 3 and 5. 1, 2, 3, 5 in that final leg. That will cost you $32 for a full unit. Good luck to everyone playing along at home.
That's Chasing Winners. Good to have you on board, boys. Enjoy your weekend. Good luck with your thoughts, and good luck with your thoughts throughout the day. We'll take a break. Matt McDermott will take you through race day after this.
You win some, you lose more. For free and confidential support, visit gamblinghelpline.org.au.